Please state your rank, first name and last name.
Commander Brian Patterson.
And spell both of those for me, please.
BRIAN-PATTERSON.
And your job title?
Operations Officer for the Forward Coordinating Element for Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa here in Mozambique.
Excellent. Walk me through the timeline from when you were notified to where we are today, March 31st.
Yeah, we were notified on Friday, March 22nd, that approval had come down from the President through the Secretary of Defense that the Department of Defense would become involved in the humanitarian relief efforts here in Mozambique. So myself and 3 other members were part of the initial forward coordinating element, and we flew here to Mozambique, and we got here on Sunday, March 24th. We've spent the last week working closely with members from the Embassy, State Department, the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and the Office for Foreign Disaster Assistance, OFDA, over the last week to understand where the U.S. military's assets and people can best support the relief efforts.
You mentioned those assets. What are those assets?
Yeah, so we have, from a people standpoint, we have roughly 100 U.S. service members here in Mozambique supporting. We also have several C-130 aircraft, C-17 aircraft, and a C-12 aircraft as well being used to shuffle and send goods around the country of Mozambique.
What are those assets that the Department of Defense is bringing?
The Department of Defense is bringing unique capability by means of the 100 service members that are here, as well as several strategic airlift aircraft, such as the C-130s, C-17s, and the C-12s that we have here. We're using those people and the aircraft and the unique capability that we bring together to work with the United States Agency for International Development, who they are working with other organizations to find out where the most relief is needed and support can be given, and we are then delivering goods to those in need.
Tell me, what supplies have we delivered thus far?
We have delivered quite, I'd say, a wide range of different goods so far. Everything from actual land cruisers, because some of the interior part of the country is hard to reach, so we've delivered land cruisers, which has allowed goods and people to actually get further into the country. We have delivered highly sustainable food that's higher in energy and protein for those in need. We've also been delivering cholera medicine and other medical equipment that is in support of cholera needs.
How do you feel, being able to be part of a mission to provide relief for thousands of people?
Yeah, it's been a very rewarding experience. I'm here in East Africa on a 9-month deployment as a reservist. So it's really been very rewarding and very fulfilling to do something meaningful here on my deployment and my time here in Mozambique. It's been great working arm in arm with brothers and sisters from all 4 services that are represented here to support the relief efforts.
What would you like to say about both the active and reserve component, soldiers, sailors, airmen and Marines who are working here in Mozambique?
Yeah, for the sailors, soldiers, Marines, and airmen that are working here, working tirelessly, working 24 hours a day around the clock, both at operations centers to track goods, other officers that are working closely with USAID, as well as those that are physically out flying aircraft and delivering goods to locations all throughout Mozambique. Now, I'd say for those that are out there working, very proud to be here with them. Yeah, want to do everything we can to support them in any way possible.
Please state your rank, first name, and last name.
Major Matthew Fraley.
Please spell Matthew.
M-A-T-T-H-E-W.
And Fraley.
F-R-A-L-E-Y.
And what is your job title?
So I am the Assistant Operations Officer for the Forward Coordinating Element for the relief effort here in Mozambique.
Okay. If you could, in your own words, please describe the Department of Defense's role in providing humanitarian relief here in Mozambique.
So the Department of Defense's role in providing humanitarian relief here in Mozambique is actually in support of USAID and their mission in working hand in hand with the Republic of Mozambique in their relief effort following Cyclone Idai.
So talk to me a little bit about the number of personnel and their capabilities who are on station right now.
So we have about 100 service members who are here on ground to assist USAID with their mission providing humanitarian assistance. Primarily what we're looking at is some of the unique airlift capability that we have, air crews and load masters and ground crews to assist them with that. You know, what the military brings to the table in a humanitarian assistance situation like this is our unique airlift capabilities to be able to move large amounts of cargo from one location to another location, so strategically placed for our humanitarian partners to be able to get it out to the folks in need.
Can you talk specifically about the airlift capability and some of the vehicles that we're using?
So specifically, what we have on ground that we're using is currently C-130s. We would like to utilize that. It's really one of our prime movers as far as being able to move stuff from larger airports, larger international airports and cargo distribution centers to some of the smaller airfields that are in the affected areas. Some of the airfields where the humanitarians are based out of are pretty remote and they're pretty small, and C-130s are really our prime mover for that.
Can you talk to me a little bit about the civil affairs piece? You have a civil affairs background. Can you talk to me about the civil affairs piece?
Yeah, absolutely. So civil affairs, one of our primary missions is humanitarian assistance. That's really one of the foundational pillars of civil affairs, because we work for that integration between civilian side and the military side. During a disaster like this, civil affairs soldiers are uniquely trained and qualified to be able to go out and assist with evaluating and assessing the damage, being able to integrate and talk to the civilian populace and to help build that relationship so that we can better understand what the needs are. We take that and then we relay that message back to the DoD, which interfaces, of course, with USAID. So USAID, Department of State, and DoD paint that complete picture. And we're really just there to be a force multiplier.
You've seen the reports that it's been reported as many as 700 dead, over 1,000 fatalities. How do you feel knowing that you're part of the relief efforts for what many are calling the largest natural disaster to hit the southern part of Africa in decades?
So for me personally, it's very fulfilling to be able to assist USAID in the humanitarian relief efforts here in southern Africa. You know, it's such a terrible crisis, and it's devastating, the loss of life, and it affects me personally because of some of the disasters that we've seen in the United States and that we've been a part of, whether it's Hurricane Sandy or any of the other hurricanes that have previously affected us. And for me personally, to be able to do something, to be able to be a part of the relief effort is very fulfilling.
Can you talk a little bit about what relief supplies have already arrived in the schedule from moving forward? What are some of the things that we have on tap?
Sure. So some of the relief supplies that we've already positioned for our humanitarian partners to use have been like ready-to-use supplementary food, high energy, high protein food items for people who have a lack of access to food and fresh food to eat. We've been able to move shelter items, blankets, tarps, clothing, sanitary buckets to help with waste disposal, vehicles to assist humanitarians to be able to access remote areas. It's really a wide variety of supplies into position. Again, our humanitarian partners who are forward are able to best identify those needs, and they're the ones who request it. And we take that unique airlift capability that we have and we position it for them to access so that they can take it forward.
What would you like to say about the reserve component, the active component of the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines who are working on the ground in Mozambique to provide relief supplies?
So this joint contingent of both reserve and active duty soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines that are here on ground providing the relief effort, they're working around the clock, and they're very motivated, very excited to be a part of this. They are really doing everything they can to move cargo, to move supplies, to move people into position so that they can provide the best relief effort that they can.